Oilers fans, welcome in to our second pregame show of the season. Opening night was last night in Rapid City. The Rush came away with a 4-2 victory at Rushmore Plaza Civic Center. But we did see a couple of opening professional goals for players. Jack Doremus and Nathan LaRose finding their first professional goals in their professional debuts. That's a good sign, obviously, looking forward in the silver lining of things.
Yeah, absolutely. That adds a lot of confidence on a bench, right? You didn't get the result at the end of the day that you wanted, a 4-2 loss, but you got a couple of guys on that bench that are going to come into the game tonight, in my opinion, with a lot of jump in their step. Think about it. You got the monkey off your back in game one of your professional career, and you were able to stab one into the back of the net. We talked a little bit about LaRose's ability to create offense as a defenseman. He certainly showed that, creeped in a little bit on his goal, as we'll break down a little bit later. But overall, it's tough. You lose game one of the year, but there's a lot of good takeaways. I liked that the Oilers really emphasized finishing their checks early on in the game. You have to continue to carry that into game two, and we'll see here tonight.
And 44 shots on goal, obviously kind of a calling card for the team in the past, being able to put pucks towards the net, but that's always a good sign. Doremus had 9 shots himself, but Dylan Sadoway had 7. And, that's without Adam Pleskett, who typically leads not only the Oilers in shots almost every game, but every season in the league. I can't remember the last time he wasn't the league leader in shots. Yeah,
exactly. You don't have Adam Pleskett. Just the reality of things. He would have made a big impact last night for sure. But you got a lot of rookies in this lineup that did step up and make some plays. Really put their footprint in the game, right? Jack Doremus was one of them. And let's break down his first goal. And let's break down a few goals here that we've seen in this game. Jack Doremus. Well, first of all, Zach, he gets a beautiful feed here up the middle of the ice, and what does he do? He quickly puts it on net. But this is the play Alex Crom is able to make that's fantastic. He's a right-handed shot on his off wing, right? That's a difficult shot to get off against the grain if you can do it quick enough. A left-handed shot would have a lot easier play at that as a one-time chance off the rebound, but Crom has an opportunity to put this to the middle of the ice. Doremus, still with his stick down, is able to get to the open space. Crom's smart enough to get it to him in the middle of the ice right in front, and he chips it home for his first professional goal. That was a beautiful goal to say the least. Doremus, he's going to get to the front of the net. He's a smart player at the University of Denver, proved that for sure. With Garrett Klotz, he ties the game up right. Tough to watch because Klotz only had 2 pro goals last year at the for the Rush, and he's not necessarily an offensive player. It's not his calling card, but he found a way to hit the back of the net in game 1 of the season and tie it up. But this goal, in my opinion, is the one that the Oilers are not going to have to be able to accept. Head coach Rob Murray recognizing, most likely looking at this film himself, that that's the open space that's got to be covered on the penalty kill. You see the wide open chance in the back door, and that's an easy power play goal for the Rush. That gives them that 2-1 lead in the hockey game. But our man, Nathan LaRose, found a way to get his first pro goal. 1, 2, and 3 Rapid City Rush players behind the net, and Lashinsky is the man that drags in there. He not only really drags that pressure over there, but he gets a shot off, and LaRose creeps in and is able to tap home his first professional goal. We talked about it a little bit off air, Zach, how dangerous that play can be potentially as you're creeping in, really being aggressive on the penalty kill, and the Oilers were able to tie that game up. The third period from then on really did not go the Oilers' way, unfortunately. But 4-2, a couple of things you can take away as guys have got their first pro goals, and who's next really is the question here tonight.
Absolutely, that's a great point. And 4-2 scoreline, you outshoot the other team. And maybe if you tighten up on the special teams a little bit, maybe get yourself a special teams goal, be a little bit more successful on the penalty kill. That was at 66% last night. You might be able to find yourself into this game. David Tendek's a very good goaltender. He's an Arizona Coyotes contracted goaltender. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the lineup for the Rush tonight. He could be tired from the 44 shots, but it'll be really interesting to see what the goaltender matchup is and what's different from this opening game.
Yeah, I think the conversation in the locker room will be a little bit, hey, let's get after it again with the physical play that we had. We got some offensive chances. We put up a lot of shots. We're going to create that again here tonight, but got to stay disciplined here in game 2 of the weekend. A little bit undisciplined. Allowed the Rapid City Rush to gain some momentum and to take some momentum away from the Oilers to really get their stride. Game 2 here tonight. Great thing about the league is you get right back at it the next day a lot. So.
Absolutely. Game 2 coming up tonight. It'll be available on Flow Sports and the Mixler app. You can tune in. You can also find that Mixler link by going to TulsaOilers.com and clicking the Listen Live banner. We'll hear you tonight.